Peace, what is up? It's Young Metroverse here back again today with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about how living with depression is exhausting. It's one of those things that I think people who aren't going through it don't fully understand just how exhausting it really is to live with depression, and specifically like long-term depression that you've been experiencing over like a long span of time. I've gone through phases in the past where I've been depressed for a little while and it goes away, but after experiencing like long-term depression, I've realized like just how exhausting it really is. One of the main things that makes it so exhausting is that every little thing starts to feel like a chore. Even just getting out of bed in the morning feels like the biggest chore ever, and so everything you do feels like it has this added weight to it, and it gets really hard to get over that because when you're having to work through the filter of depression, it just weighs everything down. It just feels like it slows everything down. So having to move and do what you need to do becomes such a tedious task. And I've just noticed that when I felt really good and in a good space, I felt uplifted and I felt like everything I was doing felt light, and I had like support. I had like my like energy as support, whereas now with depression it feels like it's the opposite. It's one of those things that when you go through it long term and you've been dealing with it for so long, like it's a different kind of feeling than when it just is more fleeting. Like there's been times that I've got over major depression and I was like surprised that I actually did, but then I messed up again and kind of screwed everything all up again, and so now I'm back into it. So it's one of those things I don't really have much advice as far as how to push through, because I'm just still trying to cope every day with it. I mean, I guess the main thing is you gotta just do what you need to do regardless. So, you know, whether you have depression or not, you still gotta show up. That's a hard thing, like as life keeps moving so fast, you gotta keep up with work and bills and everyone else in life. But with depression, it feels like it slows you down and makes movement so hard. It makes it hard to be motivated to do things. So it's harder to stay up to speed with everyone else and everything else going on. It makes working especially difficult because everything already feels like such a chore, especially going into a work environment that you're not probably happy about. That's one of the hardest parts about it. You know, I really hate going through depression. It's one of the worst things ever. That mixed with anxiety. Just over, for me, it's over something I lost. I lost like 15 years worth of videos, 3 YouTube accounts, like almost every video I've ever made, all gone with like no trace. Like my mark in history is just like gone now. So I've been dealing with severe depression as a result. And it's annoying because a lot of people try to say, like, when you're talking about depression and saying how like your brain chemistry and like how that's just how some people's brain chemistry is, but it's like, it's not always your like brain chemistry. Like a lot of times we go through a trauma that leads us to be depressed. It's not always because we're prone to depression. Like sometimes a real life event happens and that leads you to the depression. So sometimes it's hard to get out when you have like something real that happened that's causing it. It's not just a random chemical imbalance. If you're watching this and you have depression, I hope it gets better for you. Hope you're able to figure a way out, or at least a way to make it better. I know it sucks to go through it long term. It's only been about 2.5, 3 years for me that it's been like this, but I just have a feeling it's going to be like this for a long time, so I have to learn how to adapt to it. Feels like it's probably going to be the rest of my life, which kind of sucks. But you learn how to cope with it, I guess, you know, and I feel like making these videos is just part of it. It's like I feel like by putting it out there, it's like a way to vent it in a way, but also a way to connect with other people who are going through similar things, finding like-mindeds. My thing that I'm so bummed about is I lost all my YouTube channels. Like it sucks so bad. So I'm like, at least I'm back on YouTube, even though these videos are nothing like what I was making before and nowhere near as satisfying. But you know, gotta start somewhere. That's about it for now. Just some reasons why, you know, some things about depression and like what it's like living with depression and why it makes it so much harder to basically, it makes life so much harder living with depression. And thank you for watching. Young Metroverse. Peace.